episode of the Funk Factory.
What do you have for us?
Yeah, so I was just talking about Yusuf Days and seeing him at the pop-up, and this is an album.
So it's a live album,
It's a
right?
live album which I got after the swave that I got from the pop-up.
Right.
And going back to my point earlier about sharing music
Yes,
live.
yes.
Okay, this is a recorded live version, and
Yes.
there's a YouTube video of it of online and
And
everything.
that's the great thing about this drummer, and it's a drummer, mind you guys. Yusuf Days is a drummer, and it's pretty rare for a drummer to be writing, arranging, and doing everything for his own songs, his own album. That's just practically unheard of. Maybe Rush on the rock genre. Neil Peart, the drummer, would sing and write a lot of the songs too, but that's a rare thing. And this is one of the things why I'm so hooked with Yusuf Days. When you got me that album from London, this black classical music album of his, dude, I couldn't stop listening. And it's one of those, we were talking about choosing records earlier, how criteria in choosing records, and like I can listen to this from top to bottom. It's all killer, no filler. It's just amazing. Side A, B, C, D. I'm good, man. I'm just chill here in my little ass studio.
So I got that record and obviously got you a copy.
Yeah, thank you.
When I got that copy and I started playing it, it didn't leave my bag. So there's a thing where you have your record bag and you pay
for
for
gigs and shit.
It didn't leave my crate.
That's awesome.
So of course I listened to it a lot, and then I got this album, and there are live versions of the songs from that album, and I'm gonna play the title track, but this is a live version. So I'm accustomed to the original, the album version, and now I'm gonna play the live version from the Live in Malibu. So here we go.
Can't wait, man. This shit's fucking the bomb. Let's pump that up. He's so jazz influenced, and then because like you mentioned earlier, the dad's a yogi, right? I mean, it's just chill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from that otherworldly kind of psychedelic influence as well.
Right. See, there's that Afro beat, dude. That's just jazzed up.
See if you can hear any differences from the album version. I don't need to say anything. Cheers.
And the last note on that sax. That's just really trippy, man.
I love how the live version has this even more of a swing to it,
It does. Yeah, dude. Percussion solid. Percussion alongside him playing the drums.
Oh yeah.
And this motherfucker on the horns.
So on the trumpet, on the sax, it's
Yeah.
Ben Alexander Bolt.
on the birds.
Yeah.
Who is it again on the, sorry?
Alexander Bolt.
On the sax.
Yeah. No, Venna on the sax.
Venna.
Yeah. And each of them are amazingly talented musicians.
Dude, it's Bastos. No, really, when I hear a sax player like that, sound like that, it's got pose, and then you hear that roughness to it, right? But that gets to me, man. It actually sounds more like a trumpet than a sax the way it's played.
Right.
Huh?
And you even said it was a horn.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You know, if you listen to Miles Davis, you'll hear his have that sort of growl to it. You know, there's like a hoarseness to that sound that's just, it's animalistic, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's carnal. It's quite carnal.
It's carnal.
Yeah.
That's the perfect word for it, man. Oh my god. Wait, I'll pump it up again. Yeah, baby.
So I've been enjoying the live version a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
Now, huh?
Yeah.
This is for the first time.
I mean, I'm not putting anything on the original, but you know, as I know, a live version is something by something.
Dude, normally, especially for artists of this caliber, this type, you won't hear it played the same way all the time. No. You'll hear nuances, little nuances and differences from the album, and I admire artists that perform that way. Rather than, you're playing exactly what you did on the record. Come on, man.
If anything, what's on the record is a take. And,
Yes.
and it might be the refined take.
Yes,
but
so
it
maybe
was
that
a
take
single
that they chose on that day
Right.
doesn't mean it was the best one, right?
Right. And we just had the benefit of listening to it over and over again.
Right.
It becomes
Right.
the default.
Right, yeah.
Um,
Given the opportunity to play it live, you have reason to change it up a bit. For yourself as an artist, more so. And then secondary though, for listeners who've heard the album. Hey, wait, there's a different twist to it. And it's amazing.
So that's what I've seen recently from your gigs, that even from the recent 19 East gig that you performed at, the Groove Line,
We had
which
to,
is
we had to do it with a different drummer. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been to a few of your gigs now, and I've
Right.
look forward to seeing those variances. And they might be subtle to the casual listener,
Yeah.
but
But someone who listens.
it's actually everything
You
to
do.
me. That's
Yeah.
after seeing something a few times already, you're trying to look for that personality, that kind of, hey, it's a different day.
Yes.
So you might feel differently,
Right.
and then you might sing something in a different way.
Right. You may have been on smokes when you were recording. You might be on scotch while performing. You know what I mean? And like you said, yeah. I mean, if your mood's a certain way, and you'll hear it.
Yeah.
You'll hear it live.
And it was the first time I went to 19 East, and I have to say it's
That sounds amazing.
the
no?
best, if not one of the best
yeah.
sounding venues I've been to in the
Yeah,
Philippines.
definitely.
And it really just fit well for the curation that you put on with
Of
the rest of the artists.
Yeah, of Marga J, of Nicole, of La Crema, and the sessionists that were on there, Dan Hill, Coco Ku, and all these motherfuckers. Kensan, yeah.
You wanna
Gabe
put-
Dandan, yeah.
Would you like to put it on
Something
try
else?
another?
Sure,
try-
man.
Let's switch it up. Let's
Yeah,
keep
sure.
playing the music.
I'll tell you something that got me started on this groove thing. Because even when I was doing rock and when we started out, like Nash, my first band, was actually covering like Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, that kind of thing, right? But eventually, I ended up doing Lenny Kravitz covers, because I just found it to be just really my thing, and it for me it has to have a groove, whether it's heavy, like Faith No More or Rage Against the Machine, there has to be some groove to it for me to really want to get to listen to it. So this is on the B side. It's the first track of the Meters album. This one's called Funky Fly Yourself.
Surprised I haven't heard of them before.
That's the thing. Everyone knows about George Clinton and Funkadelic and Maggot Brain and all that. But dude, this guy started out 1965.
What? Early.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. They even backed up Robert Palmer on an album. I think it was released in 1977. Probably his first album. And with the Meters, and then Robert Palmer. This was way before Addicted to Love and all that pop shit.
It just goes to show that real or genuine musicians know no bounds between genres.
Again, genres just cross, man. Music is just music. If it's good, it's good, right? But for me, the most important part is I gotta have a groove, man. That's my thing.
I think that's how we connect it. I don't know the
You got
music.
me dancing during your sets, man.
I don't know the music.
That's the thing. I don't dance.
You don't have the music. I don't have the music that you may not have. So if there's a common denominator of it all,
Right.
it's the groove.
Right.
It's
It's the groove. You just gotta have it.
And that goes for electronic music as well. I was looking for the groove because electronic music.
A lot of it can become too mechanical.
Exactly the word.
Exactly
the word I was looking for.
Right?
Too mechanized.
I'm not into it. I mean, if we're talking about mechanized, I'd go for a vocoder like on this motherfucker.
Right. But who's singing the vocoder? Somebody groovy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's still organic.
Right.
Right.
So it's not necessarily the technology
Yes.
that
Yes.
gives you a sound.
Yes.
It's actually how you use the technology
Yes.
that gives it a groove.
Exactly.
So even I say, even with a genre like techno, and techno can be quite cold, can be quite
And
mechanical,
Drony and mechanical.
quite drony, exactly. If you can find the groove in it, in the way the drum programming is,
Right.
there can be some soul to it.
Right. Yeah. Most definitely. So it's just how you
It doesn't
use
matter.
it. Yeah. How
No matter what genre.
you do what you do.
And I think that's something that I've been finding throughout all of the digging I've been doing is whatever genre it is, if there's a groove to it, and not necessarily just this type of groove,
Yeah.
but there can be a groove to other types of
Yeah.
music as well.
Of course.
Even if
As
you
long
make
as it can make my head pop, make my feet tap, make my body move. Right? That's all I need from music.
You know Rick James?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, there was a funny clip on YouTube back in when he was in his prime. When the music was so good, it was so funky and so groovy, he used to say, "You make your toe go up in your boot."
And that's a steel boot!
I could not have put it better myself. Couldn't have put it better.
That's funny, man. This isn't even one of their famous tracks, dude. It's the first song on side B.
Yeah, I'll be listening to more of the meters. So yeah, this is a good recommendation that I haven't heard of before, and that's kind of the reason why.
I'm proud to say, I introduced Lawrence to Mayor Hawthorne, who's also a big influence on my songwriting of late. Just an amazing artist. He sounds to me like he's from the Motown era, but you'll hear that it's now still. So it's a good mix of nostalgia and current, and it's just awesome, man. It's just really good songwriting.
Yeah, I mean, when you put him onto me, and when I started going through his discography, yeah, his early stuff was very Motown inspired. The sound is very, very Motown.
Yeah.
And a little story I'll tell you is shortly after you introduced me to him, I went to Japan.
I know, you motherfucker! I've seen the photos, man.
You know, barely knowing him, and I went for just a day. It was my first time in Japan, actually, en route to London.
Really?
And I made sure to take that detour because I wanted to dig in Japan for the first time. And I went around one day, went to Tower Records in Shibuya, and lo and behold, and I had to double take myself, I saw
Fucker was
Mayor
digging crates for records.
Digging for records.
See?
And I was like, immediately sent a picture to Jay. Mayor Hawthorne is in the same record store as I am.
No, so this one's from Mayor Hawthorne. This was his second or third record.
Wait, you're not gonna tell anybody about this, right?
So yeah, man. So this one's from Mayor Hawthorne. This was from his second or third record. Kendrick Lamar's actually on this. We know about that fucking feud. But this is an amazing album, man. Yeah. So like I said, groove, you know, it's gonna have some going. I'm just fucking envious. This motherfucker met him.
What was funny about that was I took a selfie with him, and then a few hours later I went to another record store in another part of Tokyo, came back to the same part of Tokyo, and saw him in Disc Union as well. So it just so happened that we were shopping in the same stores, and it got to a point where it was like, oh, so what did you pick up? And we were just kind of trading notes. So it was kind of funny. Yeah, my only day in Tokyo. It's great. So thanks to you, I got introduced to Mayor Hawthorne.
Thanks for the shout out because you tagged him and asked him to try to listen to some of my songs. That was sweet, man. Thanks, brother.
No, it's nice. It's just one of those nuggets that I like from digging in record stores.
Right.
Yeah.
up in LA, moved to LA, right? So he has the best of both worlds. Like on this on the next album, Man About Town, he's writing about breakfast in bed and shit like that, right? And it's obviously very Californian driven, but with that Detroit sense of Motown.
And I think that's the link to why a lot of UK jazz is resonating right now, and including Yusuf Days, who's at the forefront of it, is because
Right.
there's this kind of refreshment of what jazz is, but
Yes!
from
Yes!
where they
Yes.
also are influenced by it.
Right.
So from either their roots or from London culture.
Right.
So there's that modern edge to it, which
Yeah.
is also appealing to me right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully in another episode, I'll be able to share more of that UK jazz,
I'd love to hear that, man.
which is something that has kind of sprung up since I moved away from London.
Right.
And I'm only really just starting to truly appreciate. And there's so much there. So hopefully, we'll have the time and space to share more.
And just a quick trivia. So we were talking about jazz, and of course, with regards to records for you guys out there, especially for those who aren't collectors yet, when you're looking for jazz albums, you look for albums produced and released by Blue Note. Blue Note is the quintessential jazz label. You got your Coltrane, you got your Thelonious Monk, you got all the greats, man, Miles Davis and shit. You know, and Yusuf Days was invited to be part of a special limited edition release, currently, of Blue Note. And that says a lot about Yusuf Days' artistry, man. For Blue Note to do that and include him as one of the main ingredients into that album. So I don't think he just played a couple tunes. I think he played most of the tracks on drums, at least, you know. And probably included one of his own arrangements and songs. Amazing.
I think if a label like Blue Note is knocking on your door, it's a sign that you're doing something that fits in the canon of what they've been releasing.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
For Blue Note to even recognize
These new artists.
these
yeah.
new up and coming artists,
Yeah,
and
yes.
they are
Yes.
there's a crop of talent, and this is a generation that's doing it. So
Because they're brilliant. Yes, they're brilliant.
Yes.
They should be recognized by Blue Note. Hopefully the Grammys. I'm really rooting for Yusuf.
right.
He should, for me, at least in my opinion, not just get Best Jazz Album, but maybe Best New Artist, dude. Right? Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not as pop as what's mostly out there. But goddamn is it fresh, right?
I was about to
It's
say.
jazz and all that. And it's hard to come up with something fresh that's jazz-based.
Yes.
Maybe more so than any genre.
Right.
Right?
And you know how loaded the word jazz can be,
Oh, hell yeah!
and how maybe the gods will be looking down on you.
Right,
Of course,
because
so
it's,
there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. If the blues started rock and roll and eventually influenced soul and R&B and all that, jazz on its own stood, right? It didn't need to follow the blues per se, because it's a lot of free jam, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you really have to have amazing artists with you. Your drummer, your bassist, your sax player, your trumpeter, your pianist, they all have to be right there
Yeah.
with you. And you're all feeling that same vibe captured. That's not an easy thing to fucking do.
And if you listen to Yusuf Days, and if you know a bit about his history, he was mentored by Billy Cobham. So,
Oh, really?
yes. So another of the tradition of the older jazz heads
Yeah.
and passing it down.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that lineage is continuing. And now we're seeing this fresh crop of talent that's coming
Right.
through, and hopefully this will stand us stead for the next
Right.
decades.
Yeah.
Talking of Blue Note, I have another record with me.
Oh, good. Let's set that up.
And
But before we do, we'll take another short break, motherfuckers. We gotta tap up our GNTs. Banyo break and all that shit. Yossi break, and we'll be right back. Again, you're listening to Funk Factory.